So we are now recording. This is SIG Network Policy API sub-project meeting. Today is January 25, 2021. I kindly remind you that this is a CNCF official meeting, so please follow the code of conduct and be nice with each other. Today we have no items in the Europe-friendly meeting agenda, so Jay is going to make some walkthrough of what's going on, and folks can be aware of the policy API evolution. So Jay, it's up to you. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so we've got Ricardo. Where's your stuff live right now? I guess I'll start with your stuff.
Okay, so my stuff, yeah. So my stuff, we have a cap for folks that are new to this community thing. So any evolution in Kubernetes, we need to write a enhancement proposal, and we call it a cap. That's a Kubernetes enhancement proposal. So we have a cap to allow a network policy to contemplate a set of ports. This is the issue that Jay is showing us in his screen, and that's the 2090 Jay that it's merged. This is the official one. Yeah, go to the bottom.
Yeah, this to the bottom. Okay.
Yeah, and we have like another cap, another modification to the cap that was asked by the folks from the performance review, just to add some performance things, and I am probably going to spend my day today doing this, but mostly what Jay is showing to us is the proposal of the port range. So we have a lot of feedback from the community that folks want to specify, instead of specifying a network policy contemplated in a single port, to specify a network policy contemplating a port range, because of like egress policies going to a node port, to node ports from other clusters, and passive FTP and so on. So this is the PR that's implementing this, and folks, please feel free and welcome to review the cap and review also the PR.
Yeah, so this is the port ranges stuff. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's just like, rather than having just install a single port, like rather than write a policy to a port. So the one thing that's for newcomers, it's important to keep in mind here is that with network policies and ports, you have this situation where you create a network policy, and then a port is a separate data structure, and the port, if you define it, determines which ports that network policy is acting on, right? And so Ricardo's finished the implementation of this kept to make it so that we support an end port, so you can have like a port range now, as opposed to just having one port. So that looks like it's coming along nicely. You implemented some of the solution for Calico too, I think, right?
Yeah, I guess it's on the my pull request. If you go to the bottom, probably it's referenced by the.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you are on the wrong PRJ.
This one.
Yeah. So that's it. That's a little bit up, or probably is on the. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
So there it is. So if anybody's interested in seeing how these things are implemented under the hood, Ricardo has gone ahead and implemented it in libcalico go, it looks like, which is cool. So libcalico go is the library that gets bundled into the Calico node agent when it runs. I bet you didn't think I knew that, Ricardo, right? And so
pretty good.
Felix gets bundled into the node agent, right? And then libcalico go gets bundled into Felix, right? So okay, so cool. So like, this is how it's ultimately all the implementation, I guess, lives. Where is it? Here? Is this it?
Yeah, exactly. It's just this.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all it took to add port ranges to the network policy API. Great. Okay. So port ranges on the way, coming soon. We have my thing, which is, where does my thing live? namespace as name.
Hold on, I will find this, Jay.
Yeah, here it is. This, and then I switch over to, so we have, so basically we've got 3 policy API changes going in soon, or 2. One is namespaces as names. So in other words, you'll be able to write a network policy against a name. And the way you're going to do that is we're adding a default labeler to the API server. And that's 21612, which is merged. And I have actually, Ricardo, a follow-up on that, which I finished yesterday. So this is merged, it's provisional, and I have a follow-up on that to make it implementable. So if you could help me to get some eyes on this.
Sure.
Who was the other person? Deeds 2K, right? So we'll see if we can get these guys to take a look at this. Cool. So that change, Ricardo, all I did was just add mostly just boilerplate, and I just added the design details of how we've implemented it, which is in the defaults.go. We're literally.
Have you added the performance review?
Yeah, I added the performance review thing to this.
But there is great. Okay.
So, literally, so this, for folks that aren't familiar with it, literally we're just putting something into the API server that always adds a metadata.name label to a namespace, right? So when a namespace is created, normally it has no labels on it by default. So this adds one new label to it that will always be there, that will always be unique and selectable, right? So that way, anybody can write a network policy against a namespace, even if they don't know about any of the labels it has, because every namespace is going to be guaranteed to have this label in the future. So that is hopefully going to be on its way soon. And then I had to do a couple of minor changes to the PR for it yesterday, and I think those are all set. I don't even know where that thing is. It's here. So I think this is all ready now. Yeah, here. Oh, it looks like it's failing the Basel test. I don't know why. But other than failing this Basel test, I think this is all ready to go. So I just need to look and see why this is failing here. Oh, I know. I think I know what it is. I think I may have. Well, that actually got flaked to me, right? Oh, no, that's an invalid value for the name. Okay.
Okay. So, folks, we have some new folks here. Do you have any question about what we are trying to achieve here with this network policy sub project? If you have any question about this,
because we are just doing a quick summary of the status of things, and then we're going to close the meeting otherwise, because there's not a lot of people.
Yeah.
No, I think adding the namespace label is like actually something that is going to help a lot of people, because it's not super intuitive off the bat for entry level people. So +1 on that. I don't really have any other questions. The port range thing is awesome as well. So
hey, David Eats to look at it, Andrew. You work with David, right?
I work with him indirectly, but yeah, if I come in contact to him, I'll ping him.
Yeah, if you get a chance, I really need someone to look at this. It's only 5 lines left to move that KEP from implementable to provisionable. So, or if you know any other API reviewers that have a chance to get it done.
Okay, sounds good.
It's 96968 is the, or it's whatever, he knows. I signed him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've posted to you folks also 2 links in the chat. So those are like we have a bigger proposal that's going on about the cluster scoped network policy. It's the first link that we have like a sub group working inside the sub project that is designing the cluster scoped network policy. So we have folks from Google, I guess from VMware, and I guess that there are some folks from IBM, Red Hat. And this presentation is nice, this one from cluster scoped network policy, because it's it's really short, but it brings like a nice light about how those folks they are designing the object of the cluster scope and network policy. So I guess it's if you can take a look into that, and if you have some interest about that also, you can ping Abhishek uh, in Slack. He's not here right now because of the time zone, but you can ping him on the SIG Network Policy API Slack saying that you wanna participate in this one. They are moving fast with this design, and they are presenting this to the SIG network, to the main SIG network group, to see what they think about this cluster scoped network policy API design. And we are doing this because the idea actually is that we can move with the small things faster, that doesn't need a huge API change like the port range or the network namespace by name. And like the other link that I pasted to you about the service selector thing. And we have this sort of subgroup that can move doing the whole design without taking care of how are we moving with the view and network policy evolution. So this is
Yeah.
what is going on.
So so yeah, that net cluster scope stuff, Abhishek is doing that, and it's a totally separate group, and they definitely are proposing some pretty interesting, valuable stuff, like policies that span the entire cluster as opposed to just one namespace. And the interesting thing is Calico and Antria both kind of have those. So it's kind of interesting because it's going to be like some kind of weird Venn diagram of that, right? Like it's going to be whatever is the intersection of those. What was the link? Where'd you put the link, Ricardo?
I've put at Zoom chat.
Okay, I'll go to the.
Yeah, and we are looking into actually doing some other smaller evolutions into the network policy API v1 also. Like we have those port range, select namespace by name, cluster scope with network policy, but we have some folks asking for the node policy, like the node selector, the FKDN policy that was being dealt by folks from Google also. And we have a new one that's about network policy using service accounts.
The part
So
there is this, right, Ricardo? This
what?
is this is the main part,
Yeah.
right? So since for folks that are here, if you're interested, like, so basically what they were proposing was you create this network cluster network policy spec, and then that spec would have ingress rules and egress rules, and then those ingress rules would have ports, and they would have peers. So you could see that basically this is starting to become a regular network policy for anybody that looks at the existing network policy API. You'll see that some of these things are actually data structures we already have. It's just that they're aggregating them into this higher level structure here. And then what it applies to, this is the data model that they've proposed here. And this is kind of, they've proposed actions of deny or allow. I don't fully remember there was something really controversial about all this, but I forgot what it was. I think it was that people were saying it was too clever, right, Ricardo?
They had like baseline allow. They had a couple of different layers of rule hierarchy, which I think confused some people because it's already somewhat confusing.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing is the idea of priorities, right? Of numeric policy priorities, because what if you have a cluster network policy that collides with the namespace scope policy, which one wins? Or if you have two cluster scope policies, once you have a concept of deny, you now have a concept of competing priorities. You don't just have a binary thing of allow and not allow, which is what it normally is. So I wasn't fully tracking all that, so I didn't fully grok all the things people were saying about it. Is there anything else that we should go over about that here?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. A lot of it's in the slides. I mean, they basically need to run through the slides to understand at all what's happening.
You need a good couple of hours to read through this, as far as I'm concerned, to really get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I need another couple hours.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, so, okay. All right, what else? Anything else, Ricardo?
No, I don't think so. I guess we've passed through all the summary of things that we are doing,
So,
and
so we've got,
yeah.
well, we've got this test here that Amin put in. That should be done. That merged yesterday. So we're moving the network policy test all in over into the new, there's a new network policy kind of DSL that we have. And this moves some of them over. So that merged yesterday. And Matt has his thing that's called a fuzzer that we're not supposed to call a fuzzer. And that is generating like hundreds of network policies. And he's got a bunch of results around that if folks want to look at it. He's put that into Entrea. And that's literally all I've got. So yeah, there's literally nothing else. I have nothing else. The only other thing is, Ricardo, the test, any update on the prowl stuff, the test grid stuff?
No, I just migrated the network policy to the pod utils things, and it seems to be working. It's failing because of the iPerf test from Matt, but not because of the pod utils. And I am waiting for the signal from Antonio to start migrating the other SIG network and SIG node jobs to pod utils, but this is going to take a while. So we are just waiting. I guess this is all, Jay. This is the summary.
I don't think we have.
Shane, do you want to present yourself? You are like new to us. If you don't want, feel free to say I don't want in the chat also. So that's okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem.
I was just kind of lurking. Yeah, I work over at Kong, and I've been kind of lurking the SIG network stuff for a while. I was working at D2IQ for 3 years, and there's a lot of network-related stuff that I'm just getting involved with because of work-related necessity. So I appreciate the explanation. I think the namespace thing sounds good. I don't really have any feedback other than just kind of keeping track of things and getting myself involved.
Welcome and thank you. Yeah. So if you folks have any question about this, because I think this is the first SIG network policy API Europe friendly meeting that we could make, like folks coming. Let us know in Slack also. I am thinking about asking for KZDev import to change this to a bi-weekly meeting, because it's we don't have enough quorum here in this one on the morning. That's actually morning here in Brazil and in the US. But thank you for coming, Shane.
Yeah, I'm East Coast, so this time's perfect for me. It's 9:30 a.m. And I could do earlier. I'm usually up by like 7.
You should start trying to hang out with us on Sundays, huh, Ricardo?
Yeah, we do meetings on Sunday also. But we have the same meeting at, I think, what's the US East Coast, Jay, that we do this meeting? Because we have another one today. And usually the US, what?
It's 4 o'clock on East Coast time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got that one on my calendar, but I wanted to come to this one because I'll be busy around 4. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, Shane, if you want to dig into anything and you have a few cycles, reach out to me on Slack and let's just hang out, and or Ricardo or whatever, and let's hang out and see where we can help you get involved.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'll ping you on Kube Slack.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so I guess for today's morning / Europe afternoon meeting, it's all.
Okay.
I appreciate you all folks coming to this meeting, and see some of you later. Otherwise, we speak next week. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.